Welcome back. We are still talking some sports, but it's time to take it to the national level. And Trey, what is going on in the nation's capital right now with the Wizards?
I have no idea, Spencer. I cannot tell you. Even the fans don't even know what's going on in D.C. The Wizards sat in second place in the East at one point, now sitting in fifth right now, just holding on by a thread. So much going on in the district. Our very own Angela Santoro is standing by to sort it all out for us. Angela?
Thanks, guys. We are taking things over to basketball because although high school basketball may be over, the NBA season is heating up with the playoffs, as you guys were just talking about. This week, we have the Washington Post Wizards reporter Jorge Castillo. Thank you for joining us this evening. What a roller coaster of a season it has been for the Wizards so far. Just last night, Bradley Beal was a game-time decision. He did play, but he's been dealing with the same recurring injuries. Do you think that he can stay healthy for the remainder of the season and even into the playoffs?
It's one of those things where you have to kind of just find a rhythm, and you have to do what he did last year in the playoffs when he had, averaged almost 20 points a game, and he kind of carried the Wizards there for the first two rounds when they advanced that far. So it could affect him, but it's one of those things where he has no choice but to get over it.
The Wizards were looking for some depth, so they did sign Will Bynum to a 10-day contract. Looks like this may be a more permanent stay for the vet, at least for this season. What do you think that Bynum adds to this roster?
They basically traded for Ron Sessions last month because they wanted to get more, of a fast-paced tempo to the second unit. And then Will Bynum kind of provides the same thing. He could play with Lamont Sessions, he could play with John Wall, or he could play with Bradley Beal in the backcourt. And he's just a proven veteran who can score when needed. He gets to the rim, he can shoot a little bit, so he's just a guy who could score.
Well, yes, there has definitely been a lot of roster movements due to injuries, and in saying that, what will be the key success for this team if they're going to make a decent postseason run?
I think it comes down to just kind of staying healthy. You mentioned Bradley Beal. Bradley's a guy, when he's playing, this team is completely different. If he stays healthy, if Nene stays healthy, and he's engaged in the playoffs. If Paul Pierce stays on the court, Paul Pierce has been getting a lot of rest. He hasn't been playing a lot lately. So if he stays healthy and can give him good minutes, this team can do some damage.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was Jorge Castillo from the Washington Post. Spencer, Trey, this Wizards team has been plagued with injuries all season long, so I'm not sure if staying healthy is in the cards, but if they can, I do agree that they can make a decent run in the playoffs. But again, I just don't know if they can stay injury-free. This is a very old roster, and this is that time of the year where those nagging injuries can kind of come to the surface and either make or break your season. Guys?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The group has just been so weird to watch this year. I mean, they were one of those sexy picks coming in at the chance to kind of upset East as, before the Cavs could kind of figure everything out. But the pieces just haven't really seemed to gel that well. I mean, Paul Pierce, they thought he'd add some experience, and it hasn't necessarily kind of taken him the next step. They haven't really turned, it on, I guess. And the real thing is, it's interesting. Normally when this happens and you look at the roster and you think of the talent, the first thing to go is the guy standing on the sidelines as they shuffle things up and try and, the fans are going to call for somebody's head if they don't make it out of the first round.
I think it's very interesting you said that because Randy Whitman left the bench the other day with 2 seconds remaining on the clock. How do you leave your team like that with 2 seconds left on the clock? Rumors of the team not getting along. They will be in the playoffs, like you said, but it looks like one and done for me in season in D.C. Just one more season left until Durant comes on home.
I guess that's what everyone's hoping for.
All Wizards fans are
Maybe get him at a
right
discounted
now.
price now with that little foot injury.
Hey, we'll see. Hey,
he's getting max wherever he goes.
He definitely is. Our last commercial break coming up here. Stick around, folks. The fastest 60 seconds on Delmarva Plays of the Week is up next.
Dejon Pittman, North Dorchester High School. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.